It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games. Looking for music that lifts your spirit and fills your heart? Experience the powerful sound of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square. Now streaming on all your favorite music platforms. Find the Tabernacle Choir on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Pandora. Let the music of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square inspire you today and every day. Whether you're at home, in the car, or on the go, enjoy the beauty of their world-renowned sound anytime. The Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square, streaming now.
Time for the question of the day. Are the Spurs unstoppable now? I gotta go no. No, they are not unstoppable. Many of you disagree with me. Zachary, I think so. Wemby will probably be the greatest basketball player we ever see, and unfortunately, he has a great support system. Spurs will be the team for my future and futures to come. Zachary. James, though, is funny. Nobody beats them between now and Saturday, guaranteed. They're going to win the first couple, huh? Got a game Wednesday. Scott. Yes, but it won't be a sweep. Yeah, I don't think after the first round I would pick a sweep. I mean, sweeps can happen, but it takes the first round or it takes massive injuries. In a normal series, it's just not the way. You get 1 versus 8, sure, there's enough discrepancy. Why not? Got a really good team and a super mediocre to possibly bad team. But to win 4 in a row, it takes it takes something major. Now, having said that, the Knicks have won 11 in a row. It can happen later. I just wouldn't pick it. I certainly didn't pick the Knicks to sweep the Cavaliers or the Sixers. Didn't even occur to me that they would do that. After watching the Sixers beat the Celtics, I thought it'd be a good series. And it was not. Scott, if you want to crown him, then crown him. And then he's got a Denny Green gift. Nice. That's one of the great rants right there. Classic Denny Green. I love that. I liked Denny Green before that. He'd been at Stanford. I'd followed him a little bit in the Pac-10. And he moved back and forth between college and the NFL, Minnesota, Arizona, and the NFL. But that rant sealed it. Loved it. See, Scott's a little more with me. They may do it. They may win 2, 3 in a row. But 4 in a row? When's the last time we saw anybody win 4 in a row in anything? Anything. Nick Saban won a lot. Did he win 4 in a row? He did not. The Yankees won a lot. Did they win 4 in a row? They did not. They won 3. They won 4 out of 5, 3 in a row.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Thank you, Yawk. The Giants, they had a really good run. They won 3 out of 5, never went back-to-back. Like the Spurs and Tim Duncan, who won 5 times and never went back-to-back. Saw the Lakers win 3 in a row, but not 4. Patrick, I think the Jazz could beat them in 5 this year if they really tried. Patrick? Easy does it there, Patrick. In 5. Got to slow down on that. Here's the problem with saying anybody's unstoppable. I just got told the Oklahoma City Thunder were unstoppable. And I thought, I get it. They're young. They got that core together. They got a lot of draft picks. They could keep it rolling. But they did need 2 7-game series last year. And to their credit, they won both the 7-game series. But Yawk, what was I saying earlier in the series when we had Barry Trammell on? The Thunder like to play with their food. They don't put teams away, and you can't win all the Game 7s. Sometimes guys come up big, and I thought the Spurs had multiple guys come up big. I mean, Victor Wembanyama, I thought he came up big. Had some big hoops. I mean, the 22 points isn't a massive number, but they had 7 guys in double figures. The ball was moving. And so Big Vic is getting a lot of attention, sometimes even before he catches the ball. Other guys have to score, and other guys did. But he was 7 of 15. He was 3 of 5 from the three-point line. He had his 7 boards. That whole team boarded. They had 5 guys with 6 or 7 boards. Everyone scored. Everyone boarded. And Vassell, Castle, rock solid. And off the bench, Dylan Harper with a big roll off the bench. Castle got loose with the ball at the end of the game. I thought he had a good game. The fourth quarter, it did get a little dicey at times. But I still like the game those young guys played. And we got to say to the Thunder, I mean, Holmgren, that was terrible. 4 points on 1 of 2 shooting, you got to take more than 2 shots. You got to be more involved than that. You only had 4 rebounds in 33 minutes. You got out-rebounded by 5 players on the other team. You got out-rebounded by 4 players on your team. You're Chet Holmgren, man. You're 7 feet tall. You can't be the 10th best rebounder in the game. And yet, and it wasn't just Holmgren, Hartenstein. Holmgren and Hartenstein, when they won Game 5 and went up 3-2, both had really good games. They both scored. They both shot it efficiently when they got their shots. They both scored. They both rebounded. Really strong game from those guys in Game 5. But they couldn't replicate it, so they helped them get that 3rd win in Game 5, and they couldn't find the 4th win in Game 6 or 7. Caruso, 3 for 14. Yikes. When he was good, they were good. Now, there were some other guys who could have helped the Thunder, but they couldn't play. I mean, Jalen Williams is the second leading scorer, so obviously him and A.J. Mitchell was coming on in the playoffs somewhat unexpectedly. His role kept getting bigger, and he kept coming through, and people were amazed. And they were both out with injuries. So this leads to, is anybody really unstoppable in this era? The injuries are piling up big time, and both these teams are vulnerable to them. And I think the lesson that people are going to take out of this Game 7, aside from why didn't the Thunder win, did the Spurs win, are the Spurs going to keep winning? I think the lessons people are going to take away are going to frustrate all of us. There are a lot of you listening who don't like the number of three-pointers taken in the current NBA game. We'll get to that. There are a lot of you listening who don't like the fact that stars don't play in a lot of games, and they sit in that whole Stockton and Malone 82 game vibe, or that Thurl Bailey, was it 83 or 84 he played the year he got traded to Minnesota? It was more than 82.
It was 84.
It was 84.
Because he got traded and then played the 2 extra. Yeah.
Right. Because of the way their schedules, yeah. He missed some days off and got some bonus games. And that's all gone. I think the average, Locke told us, used to be 74 games a season, and now it's dropped down into the 60s, and they've had to put in this 65-game rule so you can got to play 65 games. You're going to be all-NBA first or second team or be the MVP and hit the bonuses and be eligible for bigger salaries later in your career. That's not changing. Early in the series, the Spurs got in the hole. They were down 2-1. And De'Aaron Fox wasn't playing early in the series and then a little rusty when he came back. Then he plays late in the series, and they win 3 of the last 4. Meanwhile, early in the series, Jalen Williams is still playing. But he and Mitchell out at the end of the series, and once they're gone, the Thunder kind of figure out the other guys and win. The Spurs figure out the other guys and beat the Thunder in 3 of the last 4 games. No matter who won Game 7, I was texting with a friend at halftime. I said, no matter who wins this game, the loser is going to say, we could have won this series if we were healthy. And they'll have a point. And you know what that's going to lead to? Everybody studies this stuff. Everybody's going to sit their guys next year trying to be healthy for the playoffs. That's the lesson of watching this playoff series. If the Thunder had won, the Spurs would say, we dug an early hole when we didn't have our guy. And now that the Thunder lost, like, hey, we made a lot of mistakes, and Holmgren's got to come up bigger, and Alex Caruso's got to shoot the ball better, and blah, 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 blah. And also, if we'd have had Jalen Williams, we would have won. Maybe they would have, maybe they wouldn't, but they can tell themselves that. There's no alternative history, but they can tell themselves that. They had the lead in the second half on a couple occasions, and they could have won it if they'd had Jalen Williams. And maybe they'd won an earlier game and they wouldn't have needed a Game 7.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
So bad news if you want to see the end of players resting and load management. Nope, that's all with us. That was just reinforced in Game 7. And as far as the threes, and I know it's frustrating. I get a little frustrated. PK gets a lot frustrated watching teams take threes and miss threes and take more threes and miss more threes and continue to take threes. I think within a game, if you miss a bunch of threes, go get yourself another kind of shot and then come back to the three. But you can't stop shooting it. But if you've missed 4 in a row, you don't have to take a three on the 5th possession. You could go attack the rim, get a little something, couple trips down, and then go back to the three. But the Spurs won Game 7 on the three-pointers. Oklahoma City made more two-pointers and made more one-pointers. The Thunder went to the hoop. They shot more free throws. They made more free throws. Predictably, the free throws were really close. The Thunder outshot the Spurs 22-19 and outscored them 17-14 at the free throw line. But the fact that the Thunder had more free throws and had more two-pointers, the Spurs trumped that. They shot more threes and they made more threes. They were 17 of 40. The Thunder were 12 of 35. They took 5 more three-pointers. They made 5 more three-pointers. And that 15 points was the difference in an 8-point win. So if you think anybody's going to slow down taking the threes, I think there are isolated teams. I've just seen a little glimmer of hope. I've seen isolated teams with players with special skill sets, ability to make mid-range twos. I think they lean into that a little bit at times in games. And whereas in the past, teams have been unwilling to do it. But as a trend on the whole, this is just going to reinforce that you got to make threes. You may miss them, but if you don't take them, you can't make them. And if you don't make them, you can't win. That's going to be the lesson coming out of this. And another lesson, nobody really likes the tanking. They've changed the tanking rules. But the Spurs just won. And the Spurs won with Harper scoring 12 points and grabbing 7 boards. And Castle 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He did have the 6 turnovers. And with Wembanyama going 22 and 7. And those are picks 1, 2, and 4. And if even one of those guys has a Chet Holmgren, Alex Caruso stat line, that game in that series could have been really different. So if you think teams are going to stop trying to tank, forget about it. Now, the NBA's moved the bag back at first base, and they've changed the rules. But now there's a chance you could be in the playoffs and still catch a break in the lottery. So if you think teams aren't going to aim for that sweet spot, you're wrong. They are going to try to aim for that sweet spot. There is a chance that the NBA has picked its spot here and this 27 draft isn't very good and that we'll have less of it for a year. But the next time the draft is loaded, as the 26 draft, the 25 draft, the 23 draft, 3 of the last 4 drafts have been viewed as very good drafts.
Unlike the 27 and 28, which
they're not looked at as good. As the 24 wasn't looked at as being very deep.
So here's, to your point, make a 2-year lull where these tanking rules,
they may look like they're working, but let's wait till we get to a draft that's got some real talent at the top. Did I get that right? Was it the 24 draft? Yeah. Yes, it was. Risa Shea, Sar, Shepard, Edie. Yeah. The Bronny James draft, the 24 draft, said no one ever. So there you go. There's 3 trends. Don't like them? They're not changing. They all got reinforced in Game 7. Now we'll see what gets reinforced here. You know, the cool thing about the Knicks winning, I don't really want to see a New York team win because I never want to see a New York team win. I grew up in San Diego. I root for the underdog. I don't like rooting for LA and New York teams. Sorry, they win enough as it is. Well, some of them do. The Angels and the Jets haven't been pestering us with all that winning. But if the Knicks win, did they tank? I mean, they had a free agent signing there. They had a trade there. They were built in an interesting fashion. Who's got the best player? Well, it looks like the Spurs do, right? Big Vic's supposed to dominate the game. The team that wins the series is usually the team with the best player. And, man, I thought SGA came through. His team lost, but my gosh, that was a show. He hit so many shots. He finished with 35 points. I'm not sure what more he was supposed to do. 35 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, only 3 turnovers. Bravo. And that 3 he hit from the left side, contested, that's the definition of a make-or-miss league. He had a guy close to him jump at him. He just stepped to the left, created the space, and hit the shot. That was a difficult shot. Very impressed, even though he got beat. Could have used a little help from his teammates. They didn't want to put Lou Dort back out on the court. He started 1 for 4, 16 minutes. That's enough of you.
Trying to stay on top of your health can feel overwhelming.
What was I supposed to get a screening? When was my last tetanus shot? How long was I on those meds? What did my last lab results say? Wait, did I leave my straightener on? What did my doctor say at my last appointment?
Verily Me keeps track of your health and provides recommendations so your care makes sense.
Wait, really?
Yep.
That's right. It was a blood pressure screening.
Download the Verily Me app today. Verily Me gives you personalized recommendations from licensed clinicians based on your medical history. It is not a medical device and has not been evaluated by the FDA.
Summer is all about freedom, fun, and growing up. And between the ages of 9 and 13, kids are starting to form their views about alcohol. With more independence, their still developing brains need more guidance and support than ever. That's why summer is the perfect time to stay connected and plan fun, safe family activities together. Research shows kids who spend quality time with their parents doing what they enjoy are less likely to drink underage. And when kids feel close to you, they're more likely to listen, especially when you set clear expectations. In fact, kids who drink before 15 are far more likely to struggle with alcohol later. This summer, create a no-bummer summer with fun, alcohol-free activities for your kids. Go to summer.parentsempowered.org to take a quick quiz and discover ideas tailored to your family. A little time together can make a big difference. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.